Afternoon from Manipur. Although mobile internet remains blocked in the state because of law and order concerns, there are pockets of Imphal city where you can get some sort of broadband connection. So I very much hope that this connection to all of you, our viewers, remains intact. If it doesn't, I hope that you'll understand and forgive us for our technical problems in reporting from this strife-torn state. We're here on the ground in Manipur, bringing you the voices of people. I'm Barkha Dutt. You're with the Mojo story. We're on the ground in Manipur as a follow up of our relentless, focused coverage of Manipur and the turmoil, the grief, the loss, the violence that this state has witnessed. It has, of course, become a big political issue in parliament every day, leading to a showdown between the government and the opposition. But here in the state, it's really about loss, fear, anger. It is about the people behind the 6,000 FIRs. Over the next few days, through the course of this week, we'll be bringing you many ground reports, and we'll be bringing you reports from all the impacted communities. While the Meiteis and the Kuki communities trade charges, the fact is that both communities, people in both communities, are suffering and suffering badly. Let me start by sharing with you, of course, that we are here on a day when the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice has completely slammed the behavior and the credibility and the authority of the Manipur police. In fact, the Chief Justice said that there is no law and order left at all in Manipur. Chief Justice Chandrachud's comments were coming in the context of petitions that have been filed by the women who have been, of course, in that viral video that has jolted India. And the Supreme Court has directed that the Director General of Manipur Police appear before the Supreme Court on Friday. The words from the Chief Justice are very harsh. The Director General of Police should be personally present before the court. That is what Chief Justice Chandrachud has asked for. But of course, I think Manipuri people would want the Chief Justice to understand that this is a state where units of administration have been so split along ethnic lines that even the Director General of Police's house was among those that was torched. There are MLAs and ministers whose homes have not been spared. So the DGP of Manipur was among those who was targeted. And we've, of course, also reported on the story of BJP MLA Vungzagin Balte, who was assaulted so badly and so violently by a mob that he is today unable to speak, he is unable to walk, he is unable to eat on his own. Those are images that we've shown you previously in our reporting, and we're relieved to say that the Manipur government, after our report, has actually vowed to pay the hospital bills, as is the cost, they say, as is the norm, they say, for Mr. Valte. Now, women have been at the forefront of many of these protests. Women in both communities, the Kukis and the Meiteis. Women have also been the worst victims. These are women I met whose houses have been torched and burnt. In what the families are alleging is a fresh case of arson. This took place in the last 24 hours. Although officials tried to suggest that this was an accident, the families refused to accept this. This was, in fact, where these houses were burnt. If we can go back to those images, this was, in fact, a mixed community neighborhood where the Kuki side of the neighborhood is absolutely deserted. The Kuki families had left 3 months ago when the strife first actually started at the beginning of May. So the families here, many of whom run small cycle workshops, you can see that everything they've owned has been burnt. And what's interesting is that one of the people I met in this colony where everything has been torched, and this happened as recently as last night, he told me if the Prime Minister decides to speak in the Lok Sabha, then all of this can stop in 1 week. So the people of the state, the one thing, the Meiteis and the Kukis may not agree on anything right now, but the one thing that they do agree on is that the central government and the Prime Minister, the very top of government, needs to make a direct intervention. Let's also tell you about the women we met protesting on the streets of Imphal this morning. They were protesting about two missing teenagers, and the family members broke down in tears. These are women who say that two teenage children, two teenage students have been missing now for over a month. Collapsing in tears, they said that their worst fear is that the children may not make it back alive anymore, because they don't have hopes anymore that the children will make it back alive, because it's been more than a month since these children have gone missing, and they say that they have very little hope because the mobile phone of one of these two, and they were both 17 years old, a guy and a woman and a young man. They were just out for a normal walk, and these families allege that these two children were then abducted. So, well, this is just to check in at this moment live from Manipur to tell us that we're on the ground. You'll be able to catch all of these reports. Later this evening, I will be trying to do an Ask Me Anything session. I am not an expert. But look at this image. As the Chief Justice talks about the police, these are a father and son who have both served with the Manipur police, and they're holding up their uniform. If we just flip back to this picture, because in this neighborhood, this is a father and son who have served with the Manipur police, and their homes were also torched. So, at a time when the Chief Justice talks about the Manipur police having not done anything, it is important. It is important to say that the police itself is being accused either of inaction or of bias or of having lost authority. So, for example, the husband of the women uh, who were on the viral video that so jolted India, an army veteran, he told me that when his wife was being sexually assaulted, the police were there, but they did not do anything. And this is something we hear again and again, and this is something we hear from members of both communities. So when the Chief Justice says the state police is incapable of this investigation, we have to see now whether the investigation will be handed to the CBI. The lawyers who are representing the women and the people of Manipur in the Supreme Court say the people have lost faith in the CBI, and they would want a Supreme Court monitored SIT probe. Now, here as an outsider, our job is to bring you the voices of the people, all the people who are suffering, the women and children in particular. So do look out for our special ground reports on the channel all through this week, and we will also try and connect again whenever we can, and maybe take all of your questions and share our observations. Once again, we're of course not experts of the Northeast on Manipur. We're only giving you our impressions as outsiders, as reporters who are here on the ground, as women who are disturbed by how much women and children have suffered. So we hope that you'll follow our special ground coverage, and we hope to be talking to you again from Manipur very soon, probably later today. So look out for those timings. Thank you for tuning in, and see you soon.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.